Well, guys, they made it. We are not going out without a fight tonight, and everybody who's alive needs to be alive. Everybody who ain't, it's okay. Stay tuned.
You're tuned in to AFTERBUZZ TV, the ESPN of TV talk. Now, let the buzz begin.
Courtney, girl, we made it. We made it. Ain't nobody dead. Ain't nobody dead that don't need to be dead. Because we do got somebody dead. But welcome, guys, to 911 Season 2, Episode 13, Fight or Flight. And we just so happen to love how Maddie chose the flight.
Yeah, but she fought too.
That was amazing. Welcome, everybody who is joining us today. We are talking all things chimney, buck, hen, Queen Bassett, and Maddie's wonderful fight because she did an amazing job. I'm your host, Porchia Carter, but joining me is my lovely co-host.
Oh, hi guys, Courtney Allen here. I'm so excited to be back again and talk about all this drama that came because this was a lot.
It was a whole lot. Did it take you out?
Yeah, I think that, well, you know what?
I
was kind of took out in the middle, and then the end kind of like made me feel better. I was brought back.
Okay, so what are your overall thoughts?
Overall thoughts are, I'm so proud of Maddie.
Yeah.
Like, I am so proud of her because when she was first started as a character, I feel like she was so doubtful of herself just in a lot of areas, like in her career and when it came to Doug. And she's like a totally different person. Like, she really is. And I'm just like, props to you, girl. Like, she I don't know, I flew. I can't say flight because that's weird. That sounds weird.
It's okay. We got you.
So,
we
and then she fought too, you know? So she did both. She did both and she killed it. So I'm sorry. I'm giving all my props to her.
That was my overall thoughts too. I'm glad she stood up for herself and she defended herself. All that hard work Buck did training her did not go to waste, okay? We learned the moves. And she did her thing, okay?
She really did.
So, first and foremost, let's get into Chimney because he was out like a light for 2 whole episodes. And we didn't know he was going to come back, and we was mad. We was going to be cussing Ryan Murphy out. But we ain't got to cuss Ryan Murphy out tonight because why? Chim made it.
Well, we knew he was going to live, though. He had to.
Yeah.
It would just be too cruel. When we were saying that last week, it would be too much. But you know what? He is like, he's really, really small, but he is like the ultimate fighter now. That he's like made it through the pole, through his head, and now he made it through being stabbed multiple times. He was kind of laying there for a long time, you know? And he's like in the hospital room, cracking jokes with the nurse. I was like, oh, he's ready to get out of here and go on to the next thing.
Yeah. I love his heart because even though he was out cold, he was still worried about Maddie. He was still checking up on her. And he was still, you know, dropping clues to everybody. Like, all right, y'all, it was Jason. Whoever the heck Jason is, it was him. Go find him. And so he was just, you know, helping them in the best way that he could. And even though he was out like a light.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
I
love him.
It felt it was so ironic in the opening scene when they were doing the 911 call and then it actually ended up being for Chimney. So I was like, this is so odd because we're so used to it being other people.
Yeah, reaching out to them.
So I was like, ah.
But you know, this ain't the first time the 911 call done been for Chimney, so.
That's not even funny. That's not even funny. Like, we can't even joke about this anymore.
Yeah, you're right. It's not the first time. But since we know that there is a pattern, we see that he always gonna pull through.
Yeah.
No matter what. Because he's a fighter. Just like the episode tonight, fight or flight. Either you in this thing or you ain't in this thing. And when you ain't in this thing, you gone. And you gone and it's just a wrap.
And now they're both fighters. I want them to be together so bad.
Who, Maddie and for sure.
I do.
For sure. It's already a thing. So since we on the Chimney and his rescue, let's talk about Buck because Buck was going through it on this episode. You know, he pull up on Chimney, he see that he down, then he just start piecing 2 and 2 together like, oh my God, Maddie gone. He go search the house. And then, you know, after talking to the police and stuff, we see him go and take Chim's phone and get his, first of all, shout out to the iPhone. We love it.
Yes.
But he goes to take his phone to get his thumbprint to unlock it so that he can track down, quote unquote, Jason, better known as Doug's phone number. How did you feel about that?
You know, what I love about Buck is that he thinks he's so much slicker than he really is. Because he thought he had it down. Like, he was like, oh, yeah. Like, he was, like, feeling himself when he got Chimney's fingerprint on it. And then Angela Bassett, of course, walks in and is like, really? Like, everybody's onto you. Like, you are not as smart as you think you are. So I like that, like, naivety of him. Just, like, you know, that he's like that. But I'm glad he did it. Like,
yeah, me too. Because for me, it was him saying, by any means necessary. Like, by any means, I'm going to find my sister. I don't care what y'all talk about. Y'all got me messed up, but that's my sister.
Yeah.
And that's how, let that have been my sister. Excuse me? No. We going to the ends of the earth to find her. Okay?
It's understandable.
And Athena did throw, you know, a little shade. Because he was like, because the director, what's his name? Mark, the one in charge, he's basically like, you know, we can't use that phone unless we got a subpoena.
Yeah.
So Buck, he risking it all, throw it all away. And she tell Buck, like Mark said, ain't nobody that stupid. She was like, oh, you don't know Buck. Basically saying he's just stupid of all stupid. And I was like, oh, the shade. But I love her so much. Gots to love her.
That was my favorite part.
Yeah.
I was like, yes. Yes.
Okay? Because she be doing that. I think Buck has this thing where he's worried. When he gets worried about something, he just has a one-track mind. And that's what I like about him, because no matter what, he gonna fight. It was no second guessing with him. He gonna do whatever it takes to make sure his sister is good. And we gotta give it up for him for that.
You're right about the one-track mind thing. Now that I'm thinking about it, he'll get on something and he will stay stuck on it no matter what. Like, he was like that with his old girlfriend that never showed back up, and he was like that with Eddie and his son. Like, he was like, I'm about to try to figure out how I can help. Like, you know what I'm saying? He's very focused on specific people in his life. So
super focused, because he put two and two together with the whole Jason thing. Because once Chim said the name Jason, he like, no, it can't be no Jason. He go in there, he see her phone, he like, oh no, this fool, he played you. That was really Doug. Ain't no Jason Bailey. This person doesn't exist. Like, he was so focused on, you know, this situation that he pieced it all together. He had what he needed, you know?
It was so hard for me to keep up with the Jason Doug thing. I was like, wait, what? Like, because they were using those names interchangeably. So I was like, wait, who's Jason? I was like, oh, that's that guy. It's really Doug. Like, he lied. Okay. I was
definitely. But I loved it. I loved every moment of him just showing his compassion for his sister, like running after her, running to her rescue. Even when he saw her for the first time, to know that she was alive. Like, you could see how much it changed his face, his whole posture. It took a lot out of him. Like, he was so excited. So I'm happy that, you know, everything is the way that it is.
Me too. Go Buck.
Go Buck.
But before we move on to the next topic, we just want to, of course, thank you guys so much for watching AfterBuzz TV, specifically watching our show 911, because we love doing this every week with you guys, watching the show and talking about it and enjoying it. So make sure you subscribe on YouTube, give us a rating, a comment, and don't forget iTunes as well. Just keep supporting us, and we'll keep supporting you, because we're family, guys. So thanks so much for watching.
And thanks for helping us be the ESPN of TV talk.
Yay.
We love you guys. Oh, and if you're listening on iTunes, make sure you give us 5 stars. You said that right? Yep.
Yay, ding.
5 stars and a review. Let us know. Comment, talk, you know. We like the communication. We get back with you too. So, yeah. While we're talking about communication, welcome back here. Welcome back here to the scene. We see Henrietta. Like, we just love us some Hen. So a lot of beautiful things happened when Hen came into play. So first, she's here at the waiting room, and she's like, you know, she believes he's going to pull through. And then not only that, they had this moment where she just started pouring out her heart and telling all of these wonderful, beautiful memories and stories about Chimney, you know, while he's in the back recovering. And it was just so beautiful to see her holding down the fort for the team, because everybody really all over the place. Well, Bobby not, because he always calm. Bobby is always calm, always in control. He did have that one episode where he tweaked out a little bit, you know, when they was high. But he always got his composure. But Hen was really holding down the fort for Chimney. How did you feel about him tonight?
You know what? They have such a brotherly, sisterly relationship.
Yeah.
Because I ever even, like, I'm thinking back to times when they were in the fire truck and she's like talking to him about girls and he's talking to her about her dad. And like they just like they're real with each other. They have such a good solid friendship. I feel like they're best friends.
Yeah,
you know?
I would say that too. I would say that they're best friends too. And I love their dynamic because it's like no matter what Hen says, Chimney believes her and he knows that everything's going to be okay because she assured him. She looked him in his eyes and he said, "Do you think if he was going to kill her, he would have killed her? He would have took her?" Like, no. She was like, she's going to be just fine. He would have did what he had to do if that's what he was going to do. She wouldn't be missing. She would be dead, you know? And so he kind of, gives her that, she gives him that reassurance that everything's going to be okay. And I just love how anytime they have a conversation, it's just like, you put yourself in the mind to think about times where you had that one person that was by your side, that was your shoulder to lean on, that was your pick-me-up person. And when you talk to them, everything was all right.
And then they're also there to crack a joke with you when the time, you know what I'm saying? When stuff gets
she
hard.
She is funny.
They do that for each other. I like that.
Yeah, and then she gave him some assurance, too, when he was like, well, I thought he was this and I thought he was that, basically his mode. And she's just like, no. Psychopaths don't generally announce that they psychopaths. That was a good one.
Yeah, I like that line.
She was like, so it's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay. So, don't take no hard feeling. You good. Everything's great. We all fine and dandy up in here. And when we were at the hospital, not only did Hen come and visit, we had a few visits from a lot of people. So first, we get Michael and Harry bringing coffee and food to the guys. What were your thoughts when you saw them two walk in, for Bobby specifically?
I was actually surprised because, Bobby's like a dad, and I always say Bobby's a dad, and like Angela Bassett, like the mom. So they feel like they don't have anybody really like protecting them. So the fact that was made clear, I like that. And I think he was kind of like, what? Why for me? But I feel like he needs that support around him. So I think that the fact that everybody came together and were worried about him, like, he didn't expect that.
I love it because, Michael is the ex-husband. And then Bobby is the person that she is about to be Athena's husband. And it's just like to see them always working together, always coming together, no matter what, just shows a lot about Athena's character as a person, to have two men willing to work with her no matter what. And then it shows a lot about their character too. Like neither of them are jealous of one another. Granted, Michael is gay, but they don't have friction. They don't fight about things. And Michael is concerned for Bobby because his son is concerned for Bobby. Like Harry is not even Bobby's son, but he cares about him just that much. And it says a lot about their character. I love the dynamic between Bobby and Athena's children because, he lost that when his family burned up in the fire. Rest in peace, y'all. He, lost family, he lost children, he lost all these things, but it's like with getting with Athena, not only does he have the children back, now he just has a community of people who love and care for him too. And I thought that was really beautiful.
Yeah, and I feel like he's opening up more to that too now, I feel like before he was kind of like, I don't know, like it's not really my place.
Closed off because he didn't know.
Yeah, but I feel like now he's warming up to it. But you know what? I was going to bring up the gay thing because I was like, if he was straight and he had left her for a woman, like I just don't think it would have been the same.
You don't think it would have been the same?
No.
Like
their relation, like the whole relationship with Angela Bassett and her ex-husband and Bobby. Like I just feel like it would have made it more. There would have been a little bit more hard feelings. I don't know why. This is just all hypothetical. This is just what I think.
Yeah.
Because he's gay and it's just like.
You're so right.
I feel like he just doesn't really care as much.
You're so right. I don't know. But I can tell you that from on the outside looking in, from other people's experiences, not mine, other people's experiences, you see how when a couple divorces, like that's that until they get with somebody else. Then all types of stuff come up. The jealousy, the fights, the drama, the baby mama, the baby daddy, and my kids this and my kids that, when it's just a big old chaotic mess. And I think that's why I appreciate them so much. Granted, we don't know what it would have been like if Michael wasn't gay because he's gay. So we don't have a say-so on that, and we don't have no insight. But I love what they got going on right now, okay?
Very graceful divorce, for sure.
Yeah, and everybody was concerned. And speaking of concerned, that brings us to our Queen Bassett moment because she was the most concerned of all concerns. Why don't you tell us what the Queen Bassett moment is?
She took over this episode. So it was really hard for me to even like think about, because I was like, she has so many in this episode. But what I thought was the biggest one is when she was driving in the car with Buck and she was like, he has no idea what he's dealing with. When he was talking about his sister, Buck's sister, he was so worried. And I feel like at that point, he was thinking about his sister as like a weak, like, you know, person that had been abused and damaged and destroyed. And she was like, look, like your sister has so much more to offer. And I think that Buck was literally like, wow, like I'm underestimating this whole situation. Like she can hold her own. I feel like Athena even sang that period, just like turned on a light in his head. Period.
Oh, hell
I feel
to
like
the
that
queen.
was the best. She's the best.
Yes. So Athena, played by Angela Bassett, is so amazing that we definitely have to keep giving her her own segment. My thoughts on this, she did the dang thing. Okay?
What was your favorite?
Everything about her. Everything. Well, that was definitely my favorite. My favorite moment is when she gave him the reassurance that, no, your sister's different. She's going to come out of this on top. And even in the end, when she came back, you know, when they came back to, and her and Mark, they were talking about it. And he's just like, you know, she lucky she made it out. And, you know, blase. And she like, no, she fought her way out. And for her to have that much confidence and somebody that she only rode around with for a day. Like when they had that day together, her and Maddie, she only rode around with her for a day. She did drop a lot of knowledge and wisdom on her and was dropping so many gems that I was trying to catch, okay? Thank you, Athena. But she, I guess, knew in her heart that because everybody's having these new beginnings, that Maddie is not only having a new beginning, she is also a new person. And she's going to fight. And for her to have that kind of confidence in somebody that she rarely even knows, it just says so much about her. She's just so amazing.
And keep in mind, she was
so amazing.
Rolling around this whole episode, not even on duty, just walking around in a bomber jacket.
Oh, now that you mentioned that, that was my
She's
part.
like...
Okay, that's the part I wanted to mention. This moment when she grabbed Tim's phone and she walked out with Buck, and Buck like, I thought you said, you know, we couldn't use the phone and blah, blah, blah. She said, no. I said, Mark can't use the phone for the case no more. This ain't my case. I'm just a concerned friend of the victim. Oh, hell to the queen. Because she knew exactly what to do.
And
She's so smart.
She's so dedicated. Like, she was literally out here like she was on the case, but she's really off duty. She's literally just doing it because she cares.
She is so smart. Like, I love everything about her. It's like, she can do no wrong in my eyes.
She really is a queen.
Really is
That's
a queen.
the only way to describe her.
Thank you for being such a queen. So, she went through this whole thing, you know, backtracking their steps, tracing their steps after they had already taken them. So let's get into the chain of reaction of Maddie and Doug, who is no longer Jason Bailey. So they start out with him in the car on the road. He's about to run out of gas, and he's basically like, you coming with me? Look, I done killed a man for you. I own you, blase, blase. And then they get to the gas station. But before we get to the gas station part, how did you feel about this conversation that they were having with this whole you can't run from me, I own you type of deal? Like, what were your thoughts?
You know what? I did like how that scene in the car was going with the flashbacks. I was loving that transition that they were having. I thought that they did that really nicely, especially when he like punched her in the car and like it went back to when he punched her. But it's just like, he's sick. He is so sick. Because in the beginning, when I was watching that first flashback, I was like, oh, he must have not have been abusing her at this point. And then, but when she broke the glass and she like was super frantic and
she didn't even break the glass. They was dancing. It was both they fault. He bumped her into the glass.
When that happened, that's when I was like, oh, dang, like, he's really crazy, because he had me fooled. I was like, oh, he's being really nice. Like, he's not hitting her at this point. This might be, like, the first time. And then he was like, what did he say? He was like, we all make mistakes, Maddie. Only problem is you don't learn from them. And it's like, what?
I knew that he was beating her when she looked at him. She looked at him with such fear in her eyes, like she was trembling when that glass knocked over, because he literally pulled out the glass, looked at it, and said, "This is the only thing I have from my mother." So when it fell over, she automatically got fearful because she just knew he was about to do something stupid.
Oh, yeah. You're right.
Like the fear in her eyes, like I didn't care what he was talking about. I'm like, no, he done went upside her head before, because the way she looking and the way she acting, ain't no way.
That's true. Because she was like, you want to use these glasses? Like, we can do this?
And then you want to take it outside and sit it on the edge of a coffee table on your back patio porch. And you think that's okay? Mm-mm. And then you beat her for it?
Yeah.
That was just really outrageous. So they get to the gas station. And then we have this whole thing where granted, I'm glad she did this, but she grabs the rental agreement out of the car. She, tells him to, unhook her arms because she has to go pee. He lets her into the gas station. Lo and behold, there's a truck right there. He's walking back and forth. He gets the Amber Alert on his phone. And I think that's when he knew to put his phone on that truck of wherever they found it at, because he saw the truck. But anyway, they go into the gas station, and while they're at the counter, the guy at the counter knows that something is going wrong from the look at her face. And it was the same kind of feeling, it was the same kind of expression that she was giving off to the officer that, showed up at her house in that flashback. But, he gives her the key to the bathroom. She goes into the bathroom. She escapes out the window before, finishing her help word.
Surprise.
He comes out to find her. Then the guy comes out and tries to shoot him, but Doug takes the gun and takes him out.
And then
when I saw that moment, it made me think about a recent, event that just happened with a guy being shot in front of his store. So can we just have a moment of silence for Nipsey Hussle?
Rest in peace, Nipsey.
Yeah, rest in peace, Nipsey. You were absolutely amazing, so legendary, so iconic. So just a moment of silence.
Definitely.
Yeah, that moment made me think about that. I was like so down all over again because, the whole world has been heavy since it happened. But then when we see it happen, like a guy on 911 loses his life in front of his store, trying to help somebody else. It was just a lot. And Maddie's hand was right there when he shot him in the head. Like, I could only imagine how she was feeling in that moment.
I mean, as a nurse and someone that works at a 911 call center, she's like, of course, trying to figure out how she can help. And she's obviously she's frantic and she's trying to see what she can do. And then he shoots him again to make sure he's dead. Like, just to ensure. Like, I feel like, I don't even know if that was like, I feel like he was trying to be even more cruel to her for that. Not even just to like, for him. He's like, well, he's going to die anyway. I might as well kill him. Like, I feel like that was like extra cruelty just for her.
Whew, I don't know, but it was traumatizing. And like, I'm over it. I'm so serious.
Yeah, I know, you couldn't handle it.
I'm over the gun violence. I'm over people getting shot. Okay? It's been a rough couple of hours. Like, Nipsey just died yesterday, and I saw a surveillance video that was up close, like the whole thing. It was just a lot. So to see this on TV now, it's just like, oh, here we go. Like, back to my heavy place. Like, now I'm sad again because, like, we was going through it yesterday over that.
Definitely.
Like, and even today woke up heavy. And to see, like, I can only imagine the trauma that Maddie is going to go through after, granted, she's just a character, but this is definitely a traumatic experience to see somebody, lose their life, right then and there.
She gonna blame herself too.
And she was already so gung-ho caught up about Chimney,
But another thing, I was like, why is Doug is stupid? Because she was like, oh, we should go to Big Bear. Like, we should do this. Like, he's just following her plans. I'm like, if you're kidnapping somebody, like, you need to come up with the plans and not follow hers. Of course, I'm happy, like, he was taking her advice because I want her to get out the situation. But I'm like, how dumb are you? Like,
he's super stupid. He's super stupid. super psycho, but that just tells the kind of relationship that they had, that even though he was beating her up, she was the brains in the relationship. Like, she had all of the answers, because he was basically, she was basically telling him, like, yeah, you're gonna do this and do that, but I have the right way to go about it, right? And it was like she was talking to him in such a way that this is not the first time she had to talk to him like that. You can tell that this is something that was done on a regular. She came up with the solutions in the relationship when things were going wrong, no matter how abusive he was to her, no matter how much, backlash she probably got from it. She was the brains of the relationship, guiding how it was supposed to go. Even though he got his issues and he beaten her, he still trusted her advice.
Yeah.
It was weird.
She's definitely the smart one, because I was like, you were dumb, sir. You were dumb.
Super stupid, but obviously she knew to go to Big Bear, so they go to Big Bear in the snow. Shout out to Big Bear, it's such a fun place. But they go, it's such a fun place.
I had to say that.
Had to say that. Look, I went skiing there last year. It was amazing.
I've never been.
But, so they get to Big Bear, they're in the cabin, and this is when she's having all of the flashbacks of when he used to beat her back in the day. And so we get this one flashback that makes her fight. And it was when the police officer told her, he said that it's better to run. He was like, it's better to run than to stay.
Yeah. Don't be afraid to run. Be afraid to stay.
There we go. Yeah. There we go. He said, don't be afraid to run. Be afraid to stay, because if you stay, this man can kill you. He can take you clean out, no remorse. Okay. But he was, egging her on to run, because obviously this wasn't the first situation that he saw like this, and he knew the outcome of it. So granted, she has that, flashback in her head, and then next thing you know, she's fighting. And she ain't playing no game. She take the pole. She take the pole from the fireplace, knock him clean out, and gets to running, okay?
Yes.
And this whole scene after that run and chase thing was a lot.
In the snow, running in the snow. I know her feet were cold and numb. I was like,
super.
Ooh.
She wasn't dressed for it.
I know. I felt so bad for her, man. I was like, oh, Lord, please help her get away.
She wasn't dressed for it.
He's running around looking absolutely crazy with blood running down his face. He can barely see. Like, he looks psycho out there.
She can barely see. Like, she kept on wanting to black out. And he's following her footsteps. That's what I hate about the snow. Like, you can't run from nobody in no snow. They know exactly where you're going. They know exactly, like, you can't, But she did do a little crisscross and backtrack her steps, and that's how he found her. And then they got to, stabbing each other. But
casually.
Yeah, just
stabbing each other.
Just having a whole fight and got to stabbing each other until, he fell on top of her and she stabbed him to death.
Which... you could even tell, that was hard for her to even do. She was literally, like, screaming every time she had to, like, stick it in him. Oh. I felt so, because
that's a lot.
She's such a sweetheart.
That's
like,
a lot. You know,
like, most people would be like, yeah, like, you deserve this. And she's like, I'm like, girl, like, all that stuff he did to you. I mean, I can't really say I'd probably do the same thing, but I'm just saying, as I'm watching, like, I just want her to be, like, get in there,
Yeah. Yeah, I felt her pain. Like, that was another heavy moment for me. I was just like, oh my God. Like, your abuser is laying on top of you, trying to take your life, and you have the knife in your hand. Like, what else are you going to do? This man has been abusing you for God knows how many years. Like, he done killed your boyfriend, from what she thinks. He killed your boyfriend. You out here in the snow with nobody. Can't nobody find y'all. It's either you or him at this point. And she chose him. You got to go, fool.
And I'm glad
you got to go.
That moment when she, like, woke up and she was like, I got to get up now or I'm not going to make it out. She was literally like, I got to get up. I got to get up. Because she totally blacked out. Yeah. I was like, ooh.
She blacked out and then had another flashback of when he said that he was like, we are together, blase, blase. Then he ended it with, we're going to die together. And that was enough to snap her up out of it. Like, ain't no dying together up in here. I'm going to get up off this mug today. I was like, yes, Maddie, get up, girl. Get up, girl. And she got up and she started running. And then... All hail to the queen. They show up. The queen Athena and Buck, they show up at the cabin. One of the officers noticed that it was some blood over there in the snow, and Buck just gets to running in that direction. He ain't care. He heard blood, and he was out of there, going to go find his sister. Then they run into each other with this great, big, beautiful collision.
She said, I didn't give up. That's the only time this episode that I almost cried, when she was like, I didn't give up. I didn't give up. I was
dang near in tears the whole episode because it was just a lot for me. But I loved every moment of that because she let him know. Well, basically, she confirmed what Athena said about her. About, no, she's going to make it out on top. She's not going to give up, and she's going to fight.
And she did it.
She did it.
I'm glad she doesn't have to worry about him anymore. Like, we don't have to worry about him in any more episodes. She doesn't. Yeah. We don't. Like, it's done.
When I seen that body bag, I was like, okay, get him on up out of here. Come on, rack that up. Rack that up, throw away.
He's the only person that died, and we're like, okay with it.
To the trash.
We're okay with him dying.
To the trash, sir. We got
to the trash.
Deuces. You deserve. Okay, let me not.
Savage
somebody
over
deserve
here.
that, but look, I'm trying to tell you. Okay. Look, I already know vengeance is the Lord's, but okay, sometimes you be a little upset. Anyway, it was his time to go. Like I said in the beginning, everybody who's alive needed to be alive. Anybody who dead, they needed to be dead at this point. They needed to go. So, what a wonderful ending to an episode. And to see Buck have this conversation with Maddie on their way to the hospital. And to see her face when he confirmed that Chimney was still alive was just like so heartfelt, because even though she has just been abused by, love or someone that she did love, she doesn't let that, I guess, take over her heart. And she allows a second chance at love. And she loves Chimney. We can see that in her eyes, like when she was happy about him being alive. And it takes a strong woman to be able to go through abuse, to be able to go through trauma, and to be able to go through so much hurt and pain with a love situation and be willing to open your heart up to that again. So I commend Maddie for that, because she's so strong. She's a lot stronger than what she thought she was. She came into this season very timid, very scared, like always, paranoid. But now we see the beauty in her strength, and a lot of it came from opening her heart to new adventures and new love.
Yes. And now her and Chimney are going to get married and have kids.
Okay. Is that your prediction?
No, I know that's not my prediction. I'm just in my head right now. That's just what I want.
No, that was good though. You jumped a few years up. No. You jumped up a few seasons. We don't know what they got going on.
But you know what? When she was like, the nurse was like, I have a friend that's gonna make you feel better, and little Maddie rolled in. Yeah, and he was like,
because I know he was probably expecting Chris. And shout out to Chris, Eddie's son.
Oh my gosh!
Oh, we forgot to mention that Eddie's wife brought them pizza.
Yes.
So we had Athena, ex-husband, and her son, Harry and Michael, bring them coffee and donuts. And then we had Eddie's wife bring them pizza. Like everybody was there for them.
Everybody loved
They showed up for the team, okay? They showed up for the team, but I thought he was thinking like, okay, Chris gonna come in again, because Chris did just visit him. But they done roll little Maddie up in there. And she asked to be transferred to his hospital. That's so beautiful.
And I was like, the whole time, I'm like, kiss, 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 kiss. Like, go, go, go.
And then they kissed.
Yeah, then they kissed. And I was happy.
Beautiful moments.
Wow, I'm so sappy.
No, I'm sappy too. I'm right there with you. So, let's get into these predictions for the next 2 weeks. So, guys, we are on another
AFTERBUZZ TV
predictions. We are on another hiatus. 2 weeks from now, we'll be back, guys. But let's predict what's going to happen in these 2 weeks, I guess. I really hate that they do this, but I ain't going to voice that opinion over the... Yeah. Anyway.
It's okay. We'll have time to just predict more next week.
What is your prediction?
Have a whole another prediction
next week?
My prediction, obviously, Chimney and Maddie are gonna become a couple. They're gonna start doing their little thing, maybe move in together. I'm not gonna jump to where I just did a couple minutes ago, but slow baby steps. And then I kind of just want everything to be smooth sailing for a little bit, honestly, because it was the last two or three episodes have been a lot. So I just want everybody to just kind of like get back in their routine, and then maybe like someone like Buck pick up a new love interest. I feel like old girl's coming back though. She's gonna like make an appearance. I think Connie Britton's gonna come back.
She's not coming
randomly.
back.
You don't think she'll ever come back?
Mm-mm. She's over it.
No. Okay. Well,
she's never coming back. But I do have faith in Lily. I mean, even though we only seen them for a split 30 seconds together at a dinner, but you know, I'm not even worried about Buck's love life. For my prediction, I'm right with you on the prediction. I want everything to just be about rescuing the people, like rescuing the people of California and the things that they're going through, and not having to rescue our people.
Give them
our
a
main
break.
characters. Like, granted, the rescues that they do always somehow tie into their personal lives. Every theme of every episode always ties into them personally, so I'll take that. Let's tie who they're rescuing from, all of that, we can tie it in, and that's where they can come in at. But as far as them be the one needing rescue, I'm not on that no more.
No.
Y'all can forget that. Don't be hurting no more of these characters. Don't be trying to take them out. Like, we ain't got time for that. Because I was going to have a fit if Chim was gone, okay? I was going to have a whole fit because we just love him so much. But I do predict this next episode is going to have more Hen. It better have more Hen because we miss her.
Yeah, I really did miss her.
Time. And she only had a few split peekaboos in this mug today.
Peekaboo.
In this episode today. But yeah, that is it for the predictions, guys. Yay. Like I said, we'll be back in 2 weeks so that we can talk to you guys some more. And until then, can you let them know where they can find you, beautiful?
Absolutely. Guys, you could find me at Courtney Ray Allen on Instagram.
And guys, I'm Porchia Carter signing off. You can find me on all social media at Porchia Carter.
Bye, guys. See you in 2 weeks.
Our founder, Kevin Undergaro, and me, Maria Menounos, would like to thank you for tuning in to AfterBuzz TV. Remember, we're not just the first, we're the biggest in the world, and we're the only destination for all your favorite TV shows. Whatever you crave, we've got it. So go to AfterBuzzTV.com and check out our lineup. Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.